That was a full phase of Priyadarshan comedies. You know, that we just saw you was very different from what you'd done before that.
Yeah, but I've done 5 films with him, I think. And if you see with Priyan, and Priyan's done, I think, close to
200 movies, I'm sure.
100 plus for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure,
If you take Malayalam, Tamil, Hindi, all
His
of them,
remakes included.
I would say 100 plus for sure, which is a very, very rare achievement for any director.
True.
So he has also tended to repeatedly work with actors who he's enjoyed working with. Whether it's Paresh, whether it's Akshay Kumar, whether it's there are a lot of people like even when I was doing Akrosh with him and with Ajay, you know, I noticed I always know when Priyan likes an actor. You know, he makes it very obvious that he likes an actor. You know, and I told Ajay, I said, Ajay, you know, he's going to definitely offer you a couple of films in the future. So he did work with Ajay again. So yeah, I've done 5 films with Priyan, but Priyan has worked, he's done 30 films with Mohanlal. You know, so he is one of those directors who likes to repeat his actors.
But you tend to give advice to your co-actors a lot now about the director.
No.
I'll tell you why, because before this we featured Saif Ali Khan, and I was telling you the story before we started the interview, and he spoke about how, you know, you guys were working on Race, and you came up and told him that, hey Saif, I think you're not being huggy and, you know, lovey towards Abbas-Mustan, and maybe you should, because you're behaving like a star. I said, hey man, I'm not behaving like a star. So at night he goes to his room and he watches them, you know, on the floor having their whiskey, you know, with chakna and stuff, and he joins them and he's feeling uncomfortable, but that's not, I'm presuming, what he wanted his evening to be, which is when Abbas-Mustan said, hey man, I think you've been asked to do this and I don't think you need to, just do your job well, which you are already. You just psyched him out, right?
Did I say that to him? I don't know. But
that's what he said that you did.
Then maybe I did say it, yeah. Maybe I did say it. But from whatever little I can remember, Saif, Abbas-Mustan are very, very gentle people. They're very soft-spoken, very kind people. Even when they direct you, and even in their personal life, they're very soft. And you have to be very soft with them. You know, you can't be loud and aggressive, because then they just shut up.
Right.
Yeah, they just clamp up.
Yeah.
And Saif sometimes can be a little, you know how Saif is. So I must have told him something to that effect. I don't know. But I think they got along fine. And
after that night, apparently.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah. So you have to break the ice with Abbas-Mustan a little bit.
You worked with them more than once?
I've done 4 films with them.
4 films, there you go.
Yeah.
Another director or director duo.
Yeah.
Loves you completely, both of them.
Yeah, we had a great chemistry. It's always important to have a good chemistry with your director. It's the most important thing. And when a director finds that in an actor and an actor finds that in a director, it's very compelling. You don't want to lose that chemistry because it works. I've had it with many directors.
Like who else?
I would like to think most of them. But that doesn't always necessarily translate into more than one film. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. When you're working together, to have that chemistry and that understanding is very important.
What's the correlation between how a film turns out and what the journey was like? Do you think that if the journey has been great, the film would necessarily be great? Has that been your experience personally?
No.
Say if you work with someone like a Dharmesh Darshan and you did Aapki Khatir, which I remember not to be, I don't remember it being such a great film. I don't know what you thought of it. But would you think the process of it was also like tiring because that's why it showed up on screen like that?
There have been very few films where I've really not enjoyed the journey. The ones where the journey hasn't been that pleasant for me, the outcome of those films have sometimes been very good.
Okay.
And sometimes not been so good. So I don't think really one has very much to do with the other.
Right.
But that would be different for different people.
But there's never been a situation where you've landed up on set and realized that the process is very different from what you'd heard or you'd read in terms of a script, and like it's going nowhere. Everyone seems to say that. I mean, Ajay, for instance, believes that on day one itself, he'll know exactly how it's going to be and that he's going to like this or not, and there's going to go haywire.
He might know what the journey is going to be like,
right.
But he won't know what the outcome is.
Sure.
Especially not on day one.
Right. So you've never had that situation?
Oh, I know what the journey is going to be like.
Yeah? Like, oh, phad gaye, phas gaye. Never?
That's what I said, very rare. That happens to me very rarely. I spend a lot of time with my director before we go on set.
Okay.
So I'm very sure there's not going to be any major basic differences between us. No surprises. I don't like surprises, and I don't think really anybody likes surprises. At least when it comes to working on a movie set.
Like not even one bad experience with a director during the making of
I
a
have,
film?
as I said, but very rarely, where there have been basic disagreements on a very basic level. You know, nothing to do with, how do you say, a particular shot or how I approach a particular scene, but on a very basic level of how are you directing me? How am I receiving your direction? You know what I'm saying? Those kind of things, that happens very rarely. But it does happen sometimes.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.